Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ping Pong Game in Python Lesson 4. Okay, I'm going to record this while my kids are watching Precure on YouTube. Okay, today, I'm gonna review for what we have done. Yesterday, we made paddle A and paddle B objects, and so far we can see uh, these two paddles A and paddle B and ball objects, but it doesn't move anywhere. The ball and also paddles, they have not been installed the movement of the function. So today what we are going to do is making up functions. So we are going to have a lesson focusing on creating functions as in programming terms go. So in some language like Swift, I'm not also really professional about it though. The language uses function when creating functions. By the way, Swift is mostly used for Apple products, apps. You could learn it on iPad and Macs. There is an app called Playground. We could learn the language anywhere, anytime, thanks to the technological development. Okay, let's start a lesson. What we are going through today is creating functions. So in Python, I would like you to know that whenever you come across the words after def with space and the last name of the lines uses um, column, if I'm not wrong, it definitely is a function. So what is a function anyway? This is also my lesson to make myself clear what it is like and kindly clarify its meaning. So, first of all, I would like you to imagine that you want to do dishes as a uh, chore. Doing dishes has its sequences like soaking dishes in the sink and wash them with sponge, or if you have the thing, I don't know what it called, an automatic dishwasher, maybe. If you have it, well, we don't have it anyway. Place the dishes in the machine. Um, so place the dishes in the machine. So writing those patterns every time we want to use is really time consuming. So that is why the function is for. Once you have the function, you can just call it instead of writing sequences in details. I hope this could clarify your understanding. Secondly, I think there are many functions in default library for each languages. It is just the differences between each other. It means like how they express in their own languages. And you could see them by looking at modules in the library, for example, turtle module, named turtle.py. They have oodles of functions and classes which I don't even know what they are, but it is fun to get to know them. It's a good stimulation for my brain. So, like this, def, fill color function. The last of all, from my understanding, please feel free to correct me if I am wrong. The functions have global and private faces. What it means is that when you make a function global, the global function can be summoned from anywhere in the file. So if you create a function at the top of the file, you could use it at the end of the file. So how do we know whether it is global or private? In the ping pong game file, I don't think they are private functions, so what is it? Okay. The private means that you want anyone to disturb your space or surrounding, right? The private function is used in some classes, maybe in some statement, like if, while, and for this kind of things. Statement is like, yeah, yeah, if. So let me show you an example in the turtle module in line 171, I think. Yeah, there is a function called config underbar dict. This is a global function inside turtle module. So as long as a program imports a turtle module, the program has a function ready to use. On the other hand, private function is in a private place like under classes, functions, or statements. So in line 236, yeah, there is a class called vec2d in the class. You could see functions with space before the word def, like this. It means the functions are inside of this class, so they are invalid unless you import the vec to the class or turtle module itself. Well, turtle module has all of them. You have all access to all of the functions and classes in the module. That is my understanding anyway. I will explain what the statements are later. So for now, we are focusing on functions. Now let us start with line 43. Um, this is an easy example of functions, beginning with def and then name the function. The so start with def, uh, calling a function, and then space, and then pa underbar up parenthesis is the name of the function, and so the end of the name it has parentheses, which sometimes you could input replaceable values such as x and y. Also, when you create function in Python, colon is at the end. It is like colon. Yeah, I think it calls colon, right? It is like period in sentences when you write a book. That is my understanding. All of the functions for today is a similar work for the keyboard binding. To make it simple, PEA underbar up parentheses function is abbreviation of paddle a up. So if you call the function, there is something related to paddle a's movement. Move on to line. So now I'll delete this sharp mark for your understanding. So I made a def function called paddle a up function. But inside of this function, there's still empty because I added sharp marks. So it doesn't affect anything to this function yet. So move on to line 44. You may have known already that it assigns pa.y core parentheses into y for lazy people like us. So pa.y core means coordinate parentheses into y. So y becomes pa.y core parentheses now. But you may have wondered, where do pa and y core come from? To answer your questions, PA is coming from previous lesson, creating paddle A. We created the object PA. PA having an element of turtle dot turtle parentheses. Do you remember? This PA comes from there. Then what about Y core? This is one of turtle module's function. If you look at line 1728 in turtle, 170, you will see the function def y core 170 1728. I mean, here come across this function def y core parentheses. I don't know what that self means. I guess it self means like giving the value to this object function. Okay. So it says return the turtle's y coordinate, no arguments. So no arguments means no arguments. So self position. So gives this function to a position given. So this comes, the y core comes from this function of the in the turtle module. So we made a pa dot y core function to y, and next line 45 telling us that assigning a value plus 30. What it means is that every time we call this function, the declared object's value is added up by 30. So if you change it to just equal 30, it will set paddle A to 30, which does not work as a game. So let me show you the difference, the one with plus and one without it. Okay, I need to delete them to show you the example of this one. Paddle A, only I validate the paddle A up function for you to show you the example. So to delete this one, the paddle A up function to be valid. So just okay now. I'm going to tell you about this on key press function later lesson. So now the paddle A up function is only workable. So with plus equal 30 means gives you this by pressing W, paddle A going up by 30. But if you just delete the plus and run it, only the paddle A going to the position of 30 in the y coordinate. So now this paddle A is on the position y of 30 values. So it doesn't move anymore. If I press Y button on the keyboard, it doesn't going up or down. I hope you clearly understand what I mean. So that's what it means. So every time I press the every time I call the function PA up, the paddle A going up by 30 until the comes to the other this one. because I made up these two lines after I made a script, so it doesn't explain anything about. Oh, okay, I'm going to explain it by with my non-script. So what if these two lines, 46 and 47, means um, it declares that P paddle A, if paddle A goes to the position less than paddle A position is more than 37, 370 position, it, the paddle A stops to the that value of the position y 370. So if I'm invalidate these statements, if the path array goes up on and on until you can infinitely, the path array goes to infinitely. Let me show you like this. Oh, it's gone, and it's still the path array is going on and on, going up. But by making this statement, path A stops when the path array comes to the position 370. So path array knows the limitation of the window. This is path array's goal. So now it can stop path array. That's what I made it. It was not on the book, so I just added because it was kind of annoying that every time I pressed button Y and button W, the paddle A went up and infinitely. So it was like oh weird movement. So the last line for today in the script I say the 46, but it is actually 48. To explain that PA comes from paddle A object and set y is also like your y coordination or like y core function in the turtle module. It is in the line 1810. Here set y, setting y, set the turtle second coordinate to y. So go to inside of this function there is a go to function. So I think this allows the object to go to this position y. So go to this y position. Y means this y. So y means PA dot y core. So what PA is going to set it. Given the position y by calling this function until this position 370. So every time call this function pa dot underbar up, the y is added up by 30 until 370. That is what I figured out myself, so some may be wrong. For today, we will call it a day. Thank you for watching and your patience. Bye bye. Have a good day.